folks, thanks for checking out the lesson here at Music with Ryan. As you just saw and heard there, I played an original composition and I had 3 arrangements written up for it, okay? And this is classified as a study piece at the site. So as you might have guessed, we're going to learn to play that same melody, or essentially the same melody, in 3 different places on our fretboard, and each one's gonna be an octave up. So we're gonna start down here in the lower register, lower octave, and then we're gonna bump up to the next octave, and then we're gonna bump up to the next octave, okay? And so it's just a great way to, learn to take a melody, a simple melody, and play it in multiple places on your fretboard. And the tune is entitled Call and Response, using 2 chords, and it's just that, we're gonna be playing over top of a simple chord progression, G and D7, and then it kind of has this call and response atmosphere where we do the first 4 bars of call and the second 4 response, and then we repeat that. So let's go ahead and start breaking down the first arrangement. So let's put those first few measures on the screen here. I'm gonna play them and then talk about what's going on. This is kind of, again, our first little phrase here. So, has a rest on beat 1, and it's not a pickup here. The melody, the chord progression starts on measure 1, but the melody just, again, starts on beat 2. So here it is, so 3, 4, 1. All the way down, working in that lower register. We're really going to bring out that sound, especially on the dreadnought guitars. It works well. So measure 1, we got the beat, beat 1 as a rest there, and then open D, and then open D again, and a tie, and then 2nd fret on the D, and then we pull to 0. It's the downbeat of measure 2, and then we go to 2 on the A string, tied, and then we go 2 again, and then 2, 3 hammer, and back to 2. So while the melody is rather simple in much regard, it has some syncopation in it, right? And little things, to help. I'm trying to act like kind of like a singer would sing a tune, right? So could have made it a little more straight ahead, but it wouldn't be as tasteful in my opinion. And so again, it's simple, but yet, a little tricky with the timing. So here's those first 2 bars. So 3, 4, 1. So even use your ears if you have to. Dun, dun, we go to the next measure. We go to the D7, but we're gonna play the melody on the open A here to start out. So open A twice, then 2, 3 on the A, then a long hold here. It's a half note tied over to an 8th note. So 3, 4, 1, and then on the end of 1, go 2, pull to 0, 3 on the A, or 3 on the E string, and then we're gonna slide into the 2nd fret. That's the F sharp there, okay? 3, 4, 1. You don't have to slide in either. Kind of just walking down the scale. A lot of this stuff is G major scale based. We're playing the notes, right out of there. Not just necessarily straight up and straight down, but all the note choices. G major. Some of it has a pentatonic feel. Some of it has just a regular major feel. So those first 4 measures, again, we're going to be using this melody right here as kind of the starting phrase for each arrangement, right? And it might be phrased slightly different depending on where we're at on the fretboard, but here's the melody you want to get in your head. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 1, 2. And that's a half note right there, that 2nd fret on the E. And then we go on. So we had the first 4 bars. And then we're going to go to the next phrase here, the response. So 1. And that'll be kind of like the first sentence, if you will, the first 8 bars. So on measure 5, we're on the D7 chord, and the 7th of D is a C note, okay? And C natural, and that's where the melody's going to be, and that's what gives it kind of the texture, and I like that. So the melody, we're going to be on the low C note though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the and of 4, play the open D, and then 3, and then 2, 2 again, and then open A, 2 quarter notes here. Rather simple, again, simple, but kind of a little tricky with the timing. 1. And then we finish up this little phrase with, go back to G. The melody starts there. The run starts on the G note. Low string 3rd fret, open A, 1, 2. There's where the melody really is on the B note. And then I'm going to strum out this measure. And then measure 8's just a little bit of a fill and a little bit of like a little lick in between that I'll be doing that I think just kind of fits the feel of the tune, and I'll be doing it in the other arrangements too, are very similar. So, and I went on there, but that's gonna ring into the next measure, and I just like this little, again, this little riff. So I played the low string, I strummed down once, and then on the upstroke, I hit the open D, 2, open D, 2 on the A, open D. And measure 9, I'll land on the low string. So all 8 of those bars together sound like this. 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 4, 1. And measure 9 starts us all over, essentially. And so we have kind of like the first sentence, and then we're gonna go to like the second sentence, if you will. And we start very similar with that opening call. Play the low string, and then the melody kind of starts actually on the open D here 2 times, and then we 2-0 pull on the D, 2 on the A, again 2-3 hammer, and then back to 2. That's the same as measures 1 and 2, or darn near, 9 and 10. And then measure 11, we do the same thing. And then we go on. So that's darn near exactly the same as the first 4 bars. 4, 1. And then we'll go to the last little phrase here, and it gets slightly different, right? Triplet 1. And here's our riff. Second arrangement. So measure 13, we have, we're on the A string 3rd fret, starts on beat 2, then play it again, then open D, then 3, 2, 2 again, then open A, and then we have a triplet here, right? 0, 2, 0, hammer pull is what I always say. So triplet, triplet, and then we land on measure 15 on the low string 3rd fret. We strum, D string, strum, just a boom chicka boom there. Measure 16, low string, and then our riff. So almost the same, right? Just kind of the last 4 bars of this sentence is different. We'll move to a different register on the fretboard and just a different position as well. So there's the first arrangement for the study piece, and if you want to access the rest of the video lesson for the second and third ones and download the tabs and access the sound slice, click the link in the description below to learn how, and we'll move on when you're ready. Take care.